Hello, good morning everyone. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to just do a small, short 10 to 15 minutes video on this Sunday morning, and it's raining a lot actually. So not the perfect weather to be inspired, but nevertheless, let's do something. So actually I was requested on Twitter to explain a bit more on a system or an answer that I gave regarding the question of topics that someone can write on computer science. Maybe it was in regards to their final year project, so I'm not really remembering, but nevertheless, the main idea is a ticketing system. So let me just write it down. So the main idea is a ticketing system for municipalities or the government. Let's just put it municipalities or government. Doesn't matter for it. We can use either of them. Now the font is very weird. Okay, a ticketing system for government, or it can also be municipality, but let's just leave it like it is. So the aim here is to but write the wireframe, not even write, design it. But before, let me show you what we already have. So in Mauritius, we have what we call citizen support unit. So basically, you can create a request if you have anything to do. And welcome to the citizen support portal, your citizen engagement platform. You also have the free app, by the way, App Store, getting on Google Play, App Store. But interestingly enough, you also have it on Huawei. So not recently, but I think since a couple of years ago, in Huawei, you don't have access to the Play Store, the Google Play Store, because they have some issues. So you can have a new request, or you can know the status. And I've used it, so it's not that bad, but I'm not, well, the design itself is not extraordinary. It's good, I think it's good. It does its job. And if you normally, it depends, if you create your request, you will have someone replying you within a few days, at most, maybe a week, I'm not sure. But the biggest concern, not really concern, but an improvement that I think we can do is this. We can have, maybe by region, some different issues, and then we can vote on it. We can also comment. For example, the first time I thought about it was a long time ago. I usually went for a walk in the morning, early morning, when the air is still fresh. And sometimes there was, not sometimes, but once, for a few weeks, there was a broken pipe, a water pipe, and lots of water was being wasted, was being lost, just like that. And I thought, yes, how about contacting the authority to remediate the situation? So at the time, I didn't really know how the authority works, the municipality, whom to concern, to be honest. So nowadays you can use this platform, citizen support, or you can call directly the municipality. You can call CWA, for example, or you can even just call or go to the local police station and report the matter, and hopefully they will address it as soon as possible. So this is the main idea. And the interface, of course, we are a developer. I am a developer. Most of my audience are developers, QAs, and so on and so forth. So for us, StackOverflow is like the finest user interface. Well, this is I have actually 2 or 3 profiles, because each time I've changed companies, I somewhat lost one of them. So this is one of the first one ever. You have 16 points. So don't look at that. I had another with much more, but I don't know where it is. I don't really have access to my account. Maybe I need to look for it. I need to try to retrieve it. So these are quite interesting, but it's already answered. I'm getting distracted right now. Well, sometimes we see this dollar sign, it's jQuery, and we think, wow, how come after so many years jQuery is still in use? The thing is, it's a question that has been asked some time ago, but modified 10 minutes ago. And to be honest, it was asked 8 years ago. 8 years ago. But it's quite strange. I've worked on certain, I won't say legacy product or project, but they use jQuery and they use it quite a lot, not in the sense that they try to use a how you say that, an SPA, but they try to have an SPA experience, very dynamic website. No, they don't do that. They have a backend that generates front end like HTML files, and from that whenever there is something to be done dynamically, they just use jQuery. Life is simple enough, and it's not that huge, that maintainable. Okay, so let's continue with our short adventure. We want something a bit like that, and let's take the same use case. What happens if we have broken pipes? So you can have different things, different issues in your region, for example. And this is originally an answer that I've, just to recap, after 6-7 minutes of recording this video, this is an issue that have a computer science topic that has been asked, that someone has asked me on Twitter. So the scale itself is huge, the features that you can put, but let's just do something very simple to get started with it, and just for the sake, the scope of this video as well, and maybe I can reply to this person. Maybe I've talked a bit too much if I wanted to reply to him directly, but just giving some context in Mauritius, the beautiful island of Mauritius. But this weekend has been raining. I think it's a good thing as well. It's actually a good thing that it has been raining a lot. But if you want to go for an outing and adventure, it's raining, so you should stay at home, ideally, unless you enjoy the rain. So let's get started with the design. So I'm not very good in design. I'm just going to inspire myself from StackOverflow. So let's have the main page right now. Here is our beautiful web page. Let's just do something. Snap to objects, show grid. So yeah, the grid is a good thing. So meanwhile, maybe I can show you some tips and tricks that I usually use with Excalidraw, which is a free tool, by the way. I'm not sure if you need to pay for it, and it has a good support of third-party extension. I will give you an example later on. Just show you quickly on the screen how it looks. So it is the library. You can use anything. For example, let's say I'm into DevOps stuff and I want to write this. I want to do a design. So it's actually a good tool if you want to do design stuff. You want to do multiple designs, DevOps design, diagrams, and the database modeling, for example. This is a really good tool, but you have also others on the market that are paid. For example, Lucidchart, MyRobot, and so on and so forth. They have a very generous free tier as well, but otherwise you can use Excalidraw. You can even have it on Zen mode, and I rarely use Zen mode, but when I program on Studio Code or JetBrains IDEs, I like using Zen mode because it prevents me from getting distracted. One of the reasons, of course, and another is it takes the entire screen, which is important if you have a laptop, because 16-inch screen can be limiting to code. Okay, so let's just delete it. Just an example right now how it works. So let's continue. We have our navbar here, so we can snap to objects, for example, and it just get, but let's keep it for later. Snap to objects, so when you move one, everything moves, if I'm not mistaken. See the navbar, we put something like, so it's tough to get it aligned correctly, but hey, let's think about municipality, maybe a dashboard, or home, but it should be a dashboard. And apart from that, your status, so let's steal or borrow from StackOverflow. We have a search button here actually. So yeah, the logo, ticketing system, let's call it logo, then we have home, then we have search directly. So I find it interesting to just, much more interesting to just borrow from others than create from scratch. So wow, you can see my design skills are not really incredible. But of course you can improve. Here search, and then we have login and logout. Now we have this stuff, but we can just put it account for the moment. AC, don't have. AC means aircon, but no, not aircon, account. Okay, so it looks good for me right now, and this is how it goes. So maybe should I write the entire flow first as a user? I want to create a new ticket, and or as a user I want to search for a ticket in my region, and then from that I can, okay, I'm just thinking about it, and then from that I can upvote if I'm not upvoted yet. So the upvote, just like on Stack Overflow, it should be idempotent. So what I mean by idempotent is that once I upvoted it, it doesn't matter how many times I upvote it again, it should not be upvoted multiple times, only a single time. That's it. So I don't know. I could have given you an example right now. These are so many of recent tags that I've searched. Let's see one JavaScript, just to take an example, of course. How to get a JavaScript in HTML working. So I can just click on this. This question shows with searchful effort it is useful and clear. It is clear indeed. It is really clear. Oh, it's really clear actually. Because right off the bat, you have an idea what's happening. You don't even need to read. I rarely do it actually. So I save time by reading the title here, and then the first line or 2 lines of the description, and finally, this is a pro tip, by the way. You can use it in your day-to-day life as developer or problem solver, and just go directly to the conclusion. When the HTML is loaded on the main page, only this one appears, okay? Then you just read the first line. On the first answer, you can adjust like your HTML elements. To adjust, you need to create an element to do like this. Exactly, your pet child. By the way, you should replace all instance. So yeah, it looks good. I just try to have, it's upvoted. So hey, congratulations to myself. I upvoted this. I don't know if it works or not. To be honest, we don't have time to check for it, but I know that is how you add dynamically stuff. So if you've worked with the very first iteration with React, it was similar like that. So it just gave you some kind of abstraction so that you don't need to write document create element, document head append child. All was before JSX made its appearance. Some people say JSX made its ugly appearance, but no, it can be a useful tool. So it was similar to this. So you see, if I try again, it will undo, but it won't I won't be able to upvote it multiple times. So this is a trick part of this. So I'm thinking right now, let's just copy paste this. Come here. Let's just borrow it. I want this still and zoom back. So we won't put it directly like that. I wish we had some kind of AI tool who could do this for us. But there is actually one tool that does it, but it's Microsoft. It's one of the tools you use with, I use it with a Microsoft account before. I can't really understand and remember. So let's say I have this, I can just right click and extract the wireframe. So it will just give me the wireframe. It will generate it. I think it's Microsoft Whiteboard. I'm not sure about it though. But it doesn't matter because right now we're going to create something similar. And okay, maybe we won't put so much details. We'll also, I'm thinking, so should I create the user story first or the design? So this is a board, this is very capable tool. We go on library and we check, we look for, there's so many things you can use right now, Gmail API, it's quite irrelevant for us, so let's use one. User stories, let's see if we can put it somewhere like this. User stories, it looks quite weird, not particularly beautiful or engaging or interesting, but this is not so important as such as it is. Wow, it's tiny, it's very small, and the font is it's a bit ugly, to be honest. Not ugly, but the color is not as interesting, and maybe I should use either or this one. So you can see we can use search here. Search here. Why is it giving me? So this is an example of the wireframe tool that you can use. You don't need to always reinvent the tool, or well, it's not becoming smaller. It is actually. So I don't use it that often because we use Figma normally, or we use the other tools. Some people even use Canva for wireframing. So one day maybe I can do a live video on that and we learn together. Okay, so it's not bad. Let's just continue before I'm already on 17 minutes of this video. So maybe we will want to have different parts, and why not even an implementation? The backend itself is trivial to do with Ruby on Rails, for example, but the frontend might take some work. So because despite being a full stack developer, I'm not very good in the frontend. I'm good, but I think maybe with the use of a UI AI tool, I can be more efficient. I'm not getting a correct color. Why is that the case? It's very strange, in my opinion. What's happening right now? Yeah, I think it's still quite ugly, but so I'm sorry if the author of this beautiful pack is listening. So I think we also need to go into Zen mode because this friend of us is taking too much space. So this is the user stories. As the user, I want to. So Excalidraw, what is happening right now? I want to write in it, but it's not really working as expected. As you caps lock. User, I want to. What's happening right now? Why is it not? So is it a bug or a feature? So I thought it would work better, but it doesn't seem to work. If this is the case, then we should do it the plain old way. You can even delete the text right now. What is happening? I find the delete. Let's do it the plate all the way. Make user, I want to see the list. It doesn't work actually. Wow, this is... Maybe I should use another tool. I think a good tool for this is the use of Canva. Canva or maybe Notion, but I don't know if you can do wireframing with Notion. I suspect you have certain libraries that enables you to do that. But that might be for another video. So how to write in it? Let's try it last time. And if it doesn't work, we'll try something else quickly, but we are losing time. Time is money. And maybe I can meanwhile share some computer jokes. But I'm not really thinking of anyone out there. So I've worked on payment for some time, a few years back, and I remember having these kinds of icon payment solutions. And I have different types of gateways, and we need to write like a wrapper that so in pure object-oriented terms, you write the parent and then you continue with it. So I think I'm going to, instead of losing time trying to figure this out, I'm going to figure it first and then record a part 2. So see you later.